Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we will be covering something that we've been often asked, and it has to do with whether or not we use third-party advertising tools. The short answer is we don't, and in this video we're going to tell you why. I'm Miguel from Singlot, and let's get into it. So the first reason why we don't use third-party tools has to do with what we call the similar functionality. And in essence, what happens is a native tool such as Facebook ads roughly has the same functionalities. It is true, however, that new platforms add new features and functionalities, and it is very nice to have them later down the line. But if you're starting in marketing, or you are a marketer like us, for the most part you don't need those tools. Unless you really require something very specific, chances are you can get away with using the native platforms. The second reason why we don't use third-party tools has to do with confusion. Over the last few years, there's been a boom in companies developing new ideas and new software, and as a result, when you start venturing into the marketing process, it may be a bit overwhelming to choose from all the array of different platforms. So which one should I choose? Why this one? Why not the other one? So as a good rule of thumb, you can always start with the native tools and see if your needs require a bit more. If that's the case, then you can, of course, do your research and get yourself into a platform. The third reason why we don't use tools is obviously cost. All these platforms have had a research and development phase, and they come up in general with very good solutions, but as a result, you most likely are going to have to pay. There's two ways these companies tend to monetize their services, and the first one is a self-serve solution in which you simply pay a subscription to use that software, which gives you also access to obviously some support in case there's some bugs and glitches. The other alternative is to have a managed solution where you have an account manager that helps you develop strategies and help you with the tool, but that normally requires much more money on your end and a higher advertising budget. So if you're a smaller business, chances are you might want to go the self-serve route, but there you're on your own, you're doing it yourself. The fourth reason why we don't use third-party tools has to do with volumes. We are a small business and we mostly help SMBs. So for our workflow, it doesn't make sense to use these third-party tools, because normally what typically tends to happen is these tools are very much oriented to helping you automate long processes and obviously work on a more scale solution. If you are part of a big team and you need to run a lot of campaigns, chances are you might be using a tool because it makes sense in your workflow. The final reason why we don't use third-party tools has to do with not having too much of a headache. Software starts in a version and it will continue to evolve until they reach a version that is stable, that adds all the functionalities, and therefore is much more usable. However, in that process, you may experience bugs, glitches, things not working, and as an end user, you may end up in the receiving end of that whole development process. Moreover, one of the things that software does very good is obviously keep evolving their features, their platforms, and their interfaces even. And as an end user, again, it's sometimes a bit difficult to keep up with all the constant change. So you need to continuously recycle your knowledge and what you know. Obviously, if you have an account manager, that's actually very good because you're going to be having someone who's training you. But for the most part, you're going to have to learn those things on your own. There's also the contact support hassle. If you're using a platform and the platform has glitches, you're going to have to end up spending time talking to support to try to fix that issue. So that's it for today's video. We hope you have learned a bit more about why we don't use these tools. In no way do we mean to say that third-party tools are the worst option possible. If it works for you, you should totally go for it. For us, we haven't found one that really makes sense, but we're always obviously open to getting new stuff. Companies are constantly coming up with new solutions and different ideas, and as a result, bigger platforms like Facebook end up adding those features into their native platform, so we all can benefit from this. So yeah, please keep developing apps, keep developing tools, and we'll probably reap the rewards because it's actually great. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.